Welcome back. Today is day 3 of my big leap year, and I think today is actually the day that resonates with me the most. I might share a bit of a personal story as well. But what the day is about is exploring willingness and commitment, and basically truly understanding what the difference is between being willing to do something and committing to doing something. The book explains, and that kind of is my personal understanding as well, is that the word willingness, to be willing to do something, to be open to do something, it sort of creates the space to do something. It's a very warm and embracing word, whereas commitment is packed with action and, ready to actually do something. So where do I even begin? It's going to sound a bit harsh probably, but I feel that we are living in an extremely masculine world. Masculine energies have formed most aspects of society that we live in. Masculine aspects of our energies are rewarded in business, in relationships, and that sort of imbalance between feminine and masculine energies is something that is a topic that's super close to my heart. This is something that I work with some of my clients, and this is also something that really brought some profound change into my life. I was always the sort of example kid. Even though I wasn't the oldest in my family, I include my cousins as well because they were like brothers and sisters to me. But I always felt that I always had a lot of responsibilities on my shoulder when it comes to my siblings, and that made my life very much revolve around trying to fit into like a commander role or a peacekeeper role, where I had to police my little sister and also police myself. I became extremely judgmental of myself and others around me, and part of it was the reason, or this was partly the reason why I was such a good student, why I was pushing studies so hard. I really was never forgiving with myself, and I was always thought, and sorry if you hear some noises in the background, we have some work still ongoing in the garden. I was always sort of pushed to be more analytical, be one step ahead of everyone, do, and not really feel. And when I got to my relationship with my now husband, I know that I was in a place in my life where I already had my degrees. I was quite successful in my field as well. I was constantly just going upwards, earning more, being able to invest more, buying my first property, all these things. And it required a lot of discipline from my end. And when I met my husband, he started challenging me. Absolutely not in a derogatory way, but I think he was surprised at some of my qualities, which was partly inspirational for him, but also like maybe a bit scary. I don't know, he could give more account of that. But I felt that my my masculine side was overpowering and shaping my personality. It was shaping how I thought about myself, how I like what standards I put for myself, and I really forgot how to be more feminine. 2 years ago, roughly, I watched a podcast with between Mona Katan, who's founder of Huda Beauty, and a gentleman called Mo Gaudat. Sorry if I'm pronouncing the name wrong. But it was a very light-hearted conversation, and the podcast was over, they already said their goodbyes, and then they started talking about a topic, femininity, and how Mona was explaining that since she started getting in touch with her more feminine side, allowed herself to play, didn't take life that seriously, yet still trying to push for her goals, etc., I started to wonder, like, oh fuck, like, am I even allowing myself to be feminine? Like, I know the feminine side is in me, but I've been in an environment that was promoting pushing those feminine things aside. And I know that I also brought too much masculine energy into my relationship. And as soon as I heard this podcast, I, of course, did my days-long research into the topic, trying to listen to as many podcasts as possible, ordered a couple of books on awakening the divine feminine, and for me that was really a life changer. I gave myself permission to be a bit softer. I gave myself the permission to not always act out of logic. I allowed myself not always going into situations with a plan, but putting myself into a position where I allow more flow, more ease, more play, more softness in my life. And I think that was really something that was extremely important for my life to take a turn for the better. This was a really, really long segue, and I'm sorry if I got too far away from the point of the book. But basically, the two sentences that I have to repeat on this day is I'm willing to expand my genius every day, and the other one is I commit to expanding my genius every day. So even as I read these sentences, I feel that the tone of my voice is changing. Really this openness shining through the word willing, and this readiness shining through the word commit. And when it comes to human design, it's super strange. It's a strange concept because the whole system is based on the Chinese I Ching or I Ching, which is about yin and yang. And if you know the symbol and you know the meaning behind it, it's really representing the masculine and feminine energies, and that they all go together and they make a whole and they make up the world. So yeah, I don't have a lot to say about gate 2 and gate 1, but it certainly is an important, if not in my life so far, the two most important sort of aspects of energy. And I'm really grateful to have listened to that podcast and to have dived into the topic more, because it can really be life-changing. And even starting my company that I'm running right now, Girl Boss Too Hard, I'm consciously trying to silence the masculine, analytical, action-oriented side of me, and trying to give space for the flowy, a bit more mystical, a bit more soft, a bit more playful feminine side, because I truly believe the way you build and run your business sort of shines through. And I really want to attract the type of people and cater to the type of people who understand this and who might be going through a similar experience. So yeah, day 3, exploring willingness and commitment and the difference between these two words, and realizing that both of them are needed to get things into motion. And this was my coffee machine. Well, this video was a bit interrupted. I'm sorry for that. But as I said 2 times already, this is the 3rd. This should just be a raw reciting of my experiences, without any edits, without anything like that. Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming back to watch this video. I know it's Sunday. Yeah, and I will come back tomorrow with another episode. Bye.